Alright, what's up everybody? This is Austin McRae from Bloodshed Weekly, and today we're here to play Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Sega Genesis. As you notice, this video setup is a lot different from previous videos. I'm not just in a box up in the left corner, I'm actually like on the screen merged with the playthrough. I had to do this playthrough different than other ones, simply because this game was extremely hard to record. It's not a speed through; it's simply a walkthrough. So you start off in the first level, first zone, Act 1. Very straightforward. So you know, a lot of rings, a lot of stuff, and yeah, first 60 seconds and Act 1 is over. Just like that, going into Act 2. In Sonic 2, most of the levels only have 2 acts in them, and then it moves on and you fight the boss at the end of Act 2. There will also be a video of just all the boss fights. I'm going to do one of those and then walk through the strategy that I had for, you know, dealing with all of the bosses. But yeah, going through the Emerald Hill or Emerald Zone levels. But yeah, this is Sonic 2 with Sonic and Tails. But yeah, this series took a very long time to record. It took me over 2 hours to go through the entire game and beat every single level. And I beat all of this level without any editing required. But yeah, here we go. Here's the first boss. Dr. Eggman comes in on this car here. Very easy to beat. You can get multiple hits in. You can jump up and hit him multiple times. Bounce off of him. All that stuff. Just don't touch, like, obviously the drill on the front. Don't touch that. And don't walk into the back of them. Or else, you know, you'll take a hit. And the way, in Sonic, the way you lose a life is if you have 0 rings on you. There's a ring count at the top left. If you have 0 rings and then you take a hit, you die. So you need rings. Rings are like your insurance policy to keep you in the game, to keep you going. Alright, it's Chemical Plant Zone 1. This is a very tricky level. The first zone you can rush through pretty quickly. You can do whatever you want, really. Take your time, run through it. But the first level is pretty quick. And the second level here, you got to take your time, because as you can see, there's a tricky part going on, and you get bounced back. And there's also some water in this level, which becomes a pain in the ass in the second act. And these moving blocks here as well, these become very pain in the ass in a couple of situations that you'll find yourself in. Those things speed you up, make you run pretty fast. And you can just zoom through. There are parts of the levels where you can just kind of zoom through them and get through a lot of stuff as quickly as possible. And of course, all of, like, this cool, like, machine stuff. You hop in the tubes and it brings you around and moves you around different parts of the map. Oh man, that thing right there, that blue hoppy thing. It's such a pain in the ass. I used to play this so much as a kid. I have a hard copy of this game up on a shelf with the case and everything for Sega Genesis, and the cartridge and the booklet and everything. And I used to love that game. I used to play that game more than any other video game. Well, this, Sonic 2, I've played this more than any other Sega Genesis game. So, like, the first 5 or 6 zones, like levels or worlds or whatever you want to call them, I know those pretty damn well. The first 2 especially. This level's a pain in the ass. Act 2 gets pretty difficult. You can't necessarily just run through this one. Okay, you got the bounce platforms. Go up and to the left here. Down into the tube. But yeah, I've been very busy lately, recording a lot of Sonic Let's Plays. Unfortunately, it's not me playing them live because I would have sat here for 2 hours recording. Like, I sat here and played through the entire video game. The entire game, and then edited out all of the crap because there were a few levels I struggled with. But yeah, chemical plant. It's definitely a great level design. I love the design in this level. Like, it's just colorful, and it's got a nice background, and it's challenging already. See that ring of color when I hit the Badoo thing? That ring of color, you're supposed to jump up into that, and then you go to like a bonus level. But I didn't catch it while I was playing, I guess. But yeah, you can go to those bonus levels and get the Chaos Emeralds throughout the game. And if you get all of them, I'm not sure if something happens. But parts like this right here, where you're crossing platforms across the water, very sketchy. Take your time. Try not to fall off. And then this shit right here, this is like what nightmares are made out of. This, when I was a kid, this part right here drove me insane. Like, playthrough after playthrough. And you just... Drowning in Sonic is almost like the definition of anxiety, I swear to God, because it's just... It's horrible. It's horrible. And like, if you don't get that right arc, you fall all the way to the bottom, and you gotta jump back up and worry about dying, and yeah, see, falling again. But that's the reality of Sonic. And I mean, if any of you get a copy of the game and go through this for yourself and try and go through the entire game, you are gonna die a lot. You're gonna have to restart. You're gonna have to die a whole bunch of times until eventually you get everything down. But yeah, there's like fall away platforms in this level, like little squares that flip away underneath your feet and then you fall into the water. Right here is literally the worst spot. You do not want to fall here. If you fall here, you're basically screwed. You're almost guaranteed to drown, and it's just gonna frustrate the shit out of you. So we got the boss coming up. Yeah, right here. So he's in his flying thing, and he's sucking up water. And you gotta stay in the middle in this boss battle, or else you die. But yeah, he sucks up water, and then he sticks out a pipe, and he like drops water on you. You'll see he drops some. He's gonna draw. Yeah, right there. He's gonna drop some water on you. But he's really easy. I mean, just jump up, hit the nose of his ship. Stay in the middle. Do not go to the sides. Just continuously hit him. Hopefully Tails can get some shots into, and you'll take him out rather quickly. And yeah, at the end of every level, you get this capsule full of trapped animals that Dr. Eggman has captured and gathered up for his robot army because, I don't know. It's very weird. Dr. Eggman or Robotnik, whatever you call him. Alright, well, we're going into Aqua Hill Zone. This is a pretty fun level. I like the level design on this one. The only thing is that this zone is a pain in the ass as well. There's a lot of water in this one. Act 1 is okay. Try and stay up high. Try and stay up on the higher platforms of the level is what I'm doing right here. I'm trying to stay higher up and avoid all of the water stuff. You're gonna run into those like drill guys a lot, and they suck. They're like the most annoying enemy in this zone. Those blue fish can also be pretty annoying. Like the robotic blue fish can be quite the pain in the ass as well. Yeah, see, they pop out of stuff and they come out of nowhere, and then you got those little flying things. pretty dickish. But yeah, there's a whole lot of water, and it can really make these levels very long and very, very boring. If you're sitting here dealing with all of the water, if you get stuck on the lower parts of the level. So you want to stay high up on the higher platforms for sure. Act 2, there's no way to really avoid the water at all. You just kind of stuck dealing with it. And jump into an arrow. Silly thing to do. But yeah, you can do this part here and jump across the columns and save yourself a little bit of time, but you're still gonna end up in water for most of this level. And I hate water levels in Sonic. I hate them. I swear, like, Mario and Sonic games compete to have the most screwy water levels. But yeah, then you need the air bubbles. Every time you come by, like, a pocket of air, just stand there and collect a bubble, even if it's not counting down from 5 yet. Just stay there and collect the air, and then move on. And every time you run into a new one, it's good to just take your time and collect the air bubbles. Because if you're careless and you try and just rush through, and then you find yourself, oh shit, it's counting down from 5, and there's no air pocket close enough to save yourself, you get screwed. That's how Sonic likes to screw you in the water levels. Yeah, going through all these parts here, trying to reach up to higher platforms. When I went through the playthrough, I really tried to find all of the little secrets or health bars. What am I talking about? Like auras, you know, the blue bubble that encases you. It's like a shield. Invincibility stuff, extra lives, all that good stuff. Oh god, this part here might be a little hard to watch. I get kind of stuck in this part here. This is a very tricky part, because you got to try and go around and then land up on that column. And either you're going to go too fast or you're going to go too slow, and it's going to drive you insane. And I don't know where Tails is. I guess every time you go underwater, Tails just kind of dicks off and does his own thing or something. He's got business to take care of. I have no idea. But yeah, this definitely took me a lot of tries, because it's just one of the more annoying moments in the game. There's a couple of parts like this. But yeah, if you're not careful, you'll see yourself counting down from 5 quite a bit, which is like the worst feeling ever. Come on, come on. Should be getting it any time now. I don't see why. But yeah, I definitely took a lot of time and a lot of tries to get this. Oh, that's such a close call. Right at 1 second. Like, I was literally about to die. If the game wasn't just about to spawn that air bubble, I would have died and had to come back and keep doing it. I'm pretty sure I died 2 or 3 times here. I did edit the footage pretty good, though, so that certain parts... I could have fast-forwarded this. I probably should have fast-forwarded this. But, I mean, what can you do? But yeah, once you land on it, the thing's going to fall down, and then you got to watch that lip, because when you hop up, that first lip is going to crumble on you, which is really shitty. So you get the air bubbles and then move on. This is a pretty slow level. And we're going to hop all the way up. All the way up. Yeah, up and out of the water. And once you're out of the water, it's like your home free zone. And, yeah. So this is boss 2. 2 giant poles are going to come up the sides. And then Robotnik's going to be flying over with a big old hammer. He's going to hammer the top of the totem poles, and an arrow's going to shoot out. You jump up onto the arrow, and then jump up and hit him. You can only like jump off the arrow once, because once you jump off of it, it's gonna disappear. And you don't want to get hit by the arrows mid-flight. And there's 4 different heights it can show up from. Most of the time it will show up above you, but you gotta watch, because if it does go across the ground, you're gonna have to jump over it. And don't worry if it goes up really high, because you will be able to jump up onto it. Relatively easy boss. Not very hard at all. If you're patient and you know what to expect, you'll beat this boss rather quickly. Alright, there's Act 2 of the Aqua Hill zone. Yeah, I think so. Okay, we're going into Casino Night Zone, which is probably my favorite zone of the whole game. I extremely enjoy this zone of the game. It's colorful, it's fun, it's just awesome. It's just fun. Like, you can, like, there's all these pinball triggers and stuff, and like you can control them. Whenever you hit the jump button, it'll control the paddles whenever you're like touching one or close enough to one. You get a lot of these moving blocks here, these blue big blue moving ones. I'm pretty sure there's a secret close by to this area that I forgot about, but I don't know, I could be wrong. But yeah, in the casino levels, it can be easy to get lost or like stuck, especially on some of the pinball parts. You're like, what the fuck, where am I going, where am I supposed to be, what's going on? And then there's always a way. Like, there's always like, sometimes in the pinball parts you have to like get to a certain place, like certain high up, or like you have to go all the way down to the bottom and fall through the game or something and like make your way through it. But you're gonna have all kinds of stuff bouncing you around in this level, all kinds of bumpers and like the balls that put with the stars on them, those bounce you around, and then those red triangle things bounce you around pretty good too. But yeah, in the casino zone, I definitely enjoy the animation and the level design. See, there was another red circular ring of stars above that checkpoint, and I didn't see it. And I didn't go through it. There are parts in the playthrough where I do go through the bonus levels, and but I don't want to give too much stuff away. But yeah, I do go through some more bonus levels in the previous episodes. This is Act 4. I did the first 4 acts, which is pretty much half the game. I did all of this in one episode because I can get through the first 4 rather quickly. The boss episode, like the final episode, is probably going to be about 20 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to make predictions or anything, but total footage time after editing, like all like the complete playthrough, was over an hour. I think it was like an hour and 13 minutes. And this episode's about 22 minutes, so I'm going to try and break it into like 3 20-minute episodes so it's easier to watch, easier for me to upload and work on as well, because if I sat here and put commentary over all the levels, that would just drive me insane. That would take way too long. Yeah, 3 minutes, 17 seconds. And there's Act 1 of Casino Night Zone. Going into Act 2. But yeah, this level, Act 2, is a little more tricky. You're going to run into a couple more enemies. There's really no enemies in the first act. And then once you get into the second act, you're going to run into more enemies. It's more common for enemies to show up at this point. There's all kinds of casino parts where you can go and get points and go in here. But yeah, see, you land in that little circle thing, and then depending what happens, it'll give you something. If you get 3 Eggmans in a row, though, it takes away all your rings. And if you have 0 rings and you go and you're playing the casino games and you spin a triple Eggman and you have 0 coins, it'll kill you. So, high risk, high reward. I think it can give you lives, though. Like, there's a possibility of getting some extra lives. And if your luck is pretty good, you can, you know, try and stock up on 3 or 4 lives, maybe, before you end the level. Because in Sonic, there's a 10-minute time limit to all the levels. So you can't take more than 9 minutes, 59 seconds. Because once it hits 9:59, you die. So every Sonic level is timed, in case you're wondering. But usually it doesn't take that long. But in my Sonic 3 Let's Play, for anyone that's played Sonic 3, the circus level, I can't even explain it. I don't want to give spoilers or anything, but the circus zone in Sonic 3 it's similar to Casino Night Zone with all the flashy lights and shit going on, but it's so much more difficult. It's so much more difficult, and it's just shitty to deal with. It's horrible. And there's like a really well-known part in it that people have a hard time with. It sucks. But this part right here where it's at, this is probably like the main casino thing in the whole zone. Like, it's big. See, there's another spinning star thing, and I didn't get it. Yeah, I went back for it, and it was gone. Silly. Anytime you hit a checkpoint, stay there and see if the stars come up so you can get those bonus levels. Alright, but here we are. This is the boss battle for Casino Night Zone. I'm pretty good at this level. You want to just keep going around in circles, keep moving, because he's going to try and latch onto you, and he's also going to drop those spike bombs at you. Try and hit him from above. It's sketchy to hit him from underneath, because as you can see, there's like a lightning rod that he zaps lightning, and see, Tails keeps getting hit by him and everything. But you want to zoom up the walls, and then when you're up at the wall, jump off the wall and just smash into him. But this is going to do it for episode 1 of the playthrough for Sonic 1 the game for Sega Genesis. Stay tuned. There's going to be 2 more episodes. We went through the first 4 zones. I'm Austin McCrae from Bloodshed Weekly. Thank you guys very much for watching.